In the heart of Ravenwood, a small town shrouded in mist and mystery, there stood an ancient clock tower. The townsfolk often spoke in hushed tones about its peculiar chimes that echoed every midnight. Some claimed it whispered secrets, others believed it foretold doom. On a chilly October evening, Amelia, a curious journalist, arrived in Ravenwood to investigate the clock tower's eerie reputation. Determined to uncover the truth, she set her watch to the tower's rhythm and prepared for a night of revelations. As the clock struck 11, Amelia entered the tower. Each step echoed ominously as she ascended the spiral staircase. Her flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows on the stone walls. Just then, a chilling breeze swept through, whispering her name. Startled, Amelia paused, her heart racing. She shook off her fear, reminding herself it was just the wind. Reaching the first landing, Amelia discovered an old diary tucked away in a crevice. It belonged to Horace Blackwood, the tower's first keeper. Flipping through its yellowed pages, she read about strange occurrences and mysterious disappearances tied to the clock's chimes. Just as she delved deeper, the clock struck 11:30. The diary slipped from her hands, and a ghostly figure appeared briefly before vanishing into the shadows. With trembling hands, Amelia picked up the diary and continued her ascent. The next landing revealed a dusty old painting of a woman in Victorian attire. Her eyes seemed to follow Amelia, filled with sorrow and a hint of warning. The clock chimed 11:45. Suddenly, a cold hand grasped Amelia's shoulder. She spun around, only to find herself alone. The air grew colder, and she sensed she was being watched. Determined to reach the top, Amelia pressed on. The final staircase was narrow and steep. As she climbed, whispers filled the air, growing louder with each step. She could barely make out the words, but they seemed to urge her to turn back. Ignoring them, she pushed open the heavy wooden door at the top. Inside, she found a small room with a massive clock mechanism. The hands of the clock were poised to strike midnight. Amelia approached cautiously. Suddenly, the room plunged into darkness, and the clock began its ominous chime. 1, 2. With each chime, the whispers grew deafening, and shadows danced around her. 3, 4. She felt a presence closing in. 5, 6. Desperation clawed at her as she searched for an escape. 7, 8. A figure emerged from the shadows, its eyes glowing with malevolence. 9, 10. Amelia's breath caught in her throat. 11. The figure reached out and she stumbled backward. 12. The room fell silent. The figure vanished. Amelia found herself alone, the first rays of dawn piercing through the window. She had survived the night, but the whispers of the midnight clock would haunt her forever. In Ravenwood, the legend of the clock tower lived on, with a new chapter of terror and survival.